In this video, we're going to learn about the pages of the dashboard. Look at the far left of the dashboard and you will see a number of links to other pages. For the rest of this video, we're going to take a brief introductory look at each of these pages. The first is the Start page. To get to the Start page, click on the Start link on the left side of the window. The Start page is where you will begin your journey with the JackBord. On the left half is the area where you can type commands into the JackBord and run them. The command prompt itself is at the bottom. This is where you type your commands, and the results of a command are displayed in the area above the prompt. The right-hand side of the Start page provides access to the Getting Started section of the JackBord website. These resources will help you get going and provide useful reference as well. Next, we have the Command page. This is a bigger version of the command panel from the Start page, and it's made up of two main areas. The first is the command prompt located at the bottom. This is where you type the commands you want the JackBord to run. The result of the command running will be shown in the area above the command line. Before you can type a command, the cursor shown by the arrow must be located at the command prompt. To get it there, use your mouse to click on the command prompt. As an example, place the cursor on the command line and type VS, and then press the Enter key. The VS command, or View Status command, will display the current status of the JackBord in the upper area as shown. We will learn more about the command line in future videos. The Live page shows real-time readings from the ports or sensors on the JackBord. These are shown on the left-hand side. This area will remain blank until a value changes. For example, if we turn on the port A1 pin, the Live page will show this change. We can see the A1 entry has appeared on the Live page because of the change. As the value of A1 continues to change, the last 10 readings are displayed on the page. You can view the table of the last 10 readings by clicking on the downwards pointing arrow on the far right of the row, as shown by the red arrow. The values on the Live page are updated in real time. The right-hand panel is linked to the JackBord website and provides a handy reference. The PROG page is where you will code or write programs on the JackBord. We will cover programming in another video. For now, we will look at the basic features of the program page. The left-hand side is where you will write your code. The right-hand side is where the output of the program is displayed. This is the Print tab, and there are a number of other tabs which do various jobs. The Print tab is selected by default and is where the output of your program is displayed. On the far left is the Ref tab. This is where you can access useful information from the JackBord website to help you program. The Progs tab is a list of all the programs you have created. The Debug tab is where you go to get help finding bugs in your programs. And finally, the Show tab is where you can do drawings and display graphics. Programming the JackBord is covered in other videos. The Drive page is where you will drive your JackBord robot when it has motors and wheels attached. The Joystick is located on the top left-hand side of the page and can be used with your mouse to drive your robot, just like a normal joystick. The two up and down arrows on the right-hand side of the joystick change its sensitivity. Clicking on the top arrow will make it more sensitive, and the bottom arrow less sensitive. The number pad in the middle has the keys 1 to 9. These are the user buttons U1 to U9, and can be used with the BTP or button press or BTR button release commands. You can also use the number keys along the top of your keyboard to trigger the button presses. We will learn more about using these buttons in another video. The arrow keys with the stop button in the middle is another means of driving. You can also use the normal WASD keys on your keyboard to drive your robot. Now that we know something about the dashboard, it's useful to find out some of its other features. The port pin buttons are special buttons located along the top of every page on the dashboard. These show the current state of each port pin on the JackBord and also allow you to control them. The buttons are arranged in groups of 5, representing the pins on each of the ports A through to D. Each button represents the corresponding pin on its respective port. For example, the first button A1 represents the first pin on port A. When the state of a pin changes, this will be reflected on the corresponding pin button at the top of the page. If we were to turn on port pin A1, its button on the dashboard would go green. Likewise, if we turn it off, it will go red. If it's blue, which is the default, this means the dashboard doesn't know the current state of the pin. As soon as it does, the pin's color will be updated. You can also use these buttons to set the value of a pin manually by clicking on the button with your mouse to change its state. Keep in mind, the dashboard buttons will only work if the JackBord is connected. Now that you've learned something about the dashboard and how it works, watch the video pointing out the parts of the JackBord, and after this, you can start using commands. In the meantime, if you want any other information or are just curious, you can visit us on www.jackbord.org.